Aloha Friday, everybody. Let me tell you something. Yeah, sometimes we make some mistakes. And tonight I made a big one. Noah Moss will be with me on the 9th, not tonight. You got me solo tonight, so I hope that you are ready for whatever this conversation takes us. And first of all, thank you all for being with me tonight. We're going to enjoy some time together. Hopefully you get in the comment section and start typing away. And if you do join me tonight, please get in the comments. Let me know where you're joining from. I'm Enrique, and Aloha Friday Live is what we do at 5 p.m. Eastern on my live stream. I am so happy to be able to take this time and share some things with you. I guess I'll focus on things that are happening on my end. So first of all, aloha, everybody. Happy Friday. Aloha Friday, as we say in my beloved Hawaii. It is a wonderful time. A lot of people are winding down from their work in Hawaii. They're finishing the second part of their job today. But I was walking today. I hope everybody takes the opportunity to invest in their personal health, right? I hope that you are taking some opportunity to get your body in the best shape you can. As we approach the end of this year, I can't believe that we are, here, December 2nd. I'm looking at the 15th. Things are coming up. Before you know it, you will be at the end of the year. And like always, there are some things for us to decide, right? So I want to take the next couple of weeks, and Noah will be with me next week, Friday. She'll be talking specifically about financials, how to position yourself to be in the best financial situation for the next coming year. I hope you will join us for that because I know she will bring a lot of knowledge in that regard. But today I was walking and just taking care of myself. Most of you know that I am a military man, 26 years in the Navy. Started and finished out in Hawaii. An amazing bookend journey for me. But it's still important to do the physical fitness piece. We break down on the normal. You don't want to break down because you're negating your opportunity for doing something to serve you, right? To serve your future, to serve your family and things like that. So anyway, I was walking. There are a couple of things that have happened since last Aloha Friday Live. And one of those things is that Developing the Leader Within, which is my podcast that I host and publish every Monday at 0600 Eastern, was sponsored or is sponsored now by Superpass. And Superpass is a company out of the UK. They host websites and the apps that power a lot of podcasts. And we were able to finalize and solidify a sponsorship for DTLW. I am so grateful for Superpass. We met them in PodFest a couple of years ago. I actually was a winner of one of their packages, and that's how the relationship started. But they are now the official sponsors of DTLW Podcast, and I am so grateful to be going into 2023 with that sponsorship. So thank you, Superpass, and thank you all in that company that are helping us become better at podcasting and the likes. So I was that's one thing that has occurred that I'm excited about. Another thing that has occurred that I'm excited about is that our entire season of 23 is booked. Every week has been scheduled, and and I'll be basically putting that out on December 15th in a post. You'll see it. It'll be video form, unveiling the class of 2023 on the podcast. And I'm excited for all those that will be coming in as guests. A lot of great people. doing not only amazing things, but doing great things in the world. So I'm looking forward to getting their insight on leadership and having them spend some time with you and educating you and maybe enlightening you as you journey down leadership. Uh, Most know that I am in the leadership arena. I don't step outside of that. I am blessed to have other talents, but leadership is what I do. And so I stay there. And hopefully you catch any one of the numbers of things that I am involved in terms of live streaming, podcasts, any of my posts. Be sure to follow my hashtag, which is success to you altogether. And you will see all of the posts in one spot, which is I love that LinkedIn facilitates that through the hashtag. So please follow there. One important thing that has happened, and it's going to come here shortly. As a matter of fact, everything is set up right now. So I got into a partnership with NAS.io, which is powering my community. It's a community platform where all of my leadership development, either you want it, you're part of it, or you're doing it. Any in my network that are interested in beefing up and increasing their knowledge on leadership or becoming better, that is the place where you will go to become part of that membership only community. Now, in that community, we will be doing various things. And I made a post earlier and put out a video as I was walking to enlighten the folks on what is coming. But basically, all of my major content is going on there. My webinars are going in there. My courses are going on there. And through this membership community, you'll have access to all of that. I had a question about, does that mean that all your content on LinkedIn is going away? No, it doesn't. But I will tell you, and I was talking to a Army brother of mine. He was talking about PT, and it was on that post that I was PT and walking, and taking care of my physical fitness. He said, "Hey, do it because it's free." And I replied that I have realized that free is not appreciated. So this is what I'm going to do. I will continue to post on LinkedIn. I will continue to do live shows. I will continue to post links to my podcast and things like that. But those that have chosen and will choose to become part of this membership, they will get the filet mignon and lobster, if you know what I mean. Okay. Everybody's going to get fed in one way or another, but this group is going to get the filet mignon and lobster. Now, if they don't like that, they can choose whatever name they want, but they will get the absolute best in terms of content, strength, and investment. All right. So I've made a post on that. Go to my post, go to my my profile and find that. If you're interested, go on in there and become part of that community that will be fed directly by me. And oh, by the way, I have several world leaders that are in the pipeline to come on and do their talks and their education on them. So it's going to be a great thing. So 23 is looking great as far as I'm concerned from my perspective and the things that I am in and endeavor to do. And I hope that you are doing the same thing. So tonight I want to talk about planning, right? Planning, because next week we're going to be talking about finances, which require planning. But I want to, step through planning strategies, right? Planning strategies. Now, December 2nd. If you waited till December 2nd to start planning for 23, it's not that you are too late. It's that you have less amount of time to do it in a way where you can actually have better success. Now, it's not too late. If you start today, great. I've been doing the planning since July. So, it depends on how you want and how deep you want and how far you want to go with your next year. But planning has to start. If you go in there without a plan, I will guarantee you things will happen and you will find yourself in a pickle or two without a way ahead. And, those that plan to succeed. Those that do not plan to fail. And that's just my assessment throughout the years that I've noticed that has happened. So planning, here comes the new year. It is not waiting for you. And that is something that you have to understand. If you are planning around time that does not wait, right? The world is not going to stop running around. The sun is not going to stop, shining on earth as we're doing our revolutions and all of that. That's not going to stop because you failed to plan. But what you can do is take advantage of the opportunities you have to devise a plan, set it in motion, and start making relationships that will allow you to execute and succeed on that plan. So but the very first thing that you have to do is be aware that you need one. If you choose not to do one, then whatever comes your way, you must be happy with. And, most people that come to me and say, Enrique, this happened. I say, well, did you plan for that? No. Well, and then I said, well, that's what you did by allowing whatever was coming your way to hit you head on, right? You failed to plan, so you told this thing that it was okay to come to you anyway. And, most times there's a lot of complaints, right? So awareness is the first key to making sure that your planning is solid. If you are aware that you need to change something in a certain piece or area in your life, then you will start to analyze what you're doing right now to what you need to do to get what it is you want. It's not just going to happen, right? Clients are not just going to appear at my door saying, Enrique, we can't get enough of your stuff. All the things that you say are solid. Please take us on as a client. It's not going to happen. Now, have I had people reach out to me in some type of fashion that looks like that? Yes, but it's like few and far in between. Most people I work with, I have fed through my participation, my efforts, and they have seen it. We've gotten into a dialogue. That communication has turned into a, hey, let's develop this further. And then it has turned into business, right? But you have to be aware of where you are today versus where you want to be and what you must do to get to where you want, and develop a plan. Folks, it's not that hard. but a lot of people are not aware, right? So that's why I say awareness is the first thing. If you're aware you need it, okay, start. So where do I start? Do I write it on paper? It doesn't matter. If you put it on a chalkboard, if you write it on a dry erase, if you write it on paper, the important thing is that you take that thought in your head and the knowledge that you need to do some things, and you start to strategize for your year. If a year is too down the road, okay, strategize for your month, strategize for your quarter, strategize for your mid-year, strategize for your entire year. And Dr. Michelle, thank you for joining us. She just said, be intentional. If there's any magic word when you talk about planning, it's intentionality. What do you intend to happen? Now, I mentioned earlier that there are some things that just come your way. You didn't expect it. Okay. That happens to everybody. But you have to have some intention. And you could do it by month. You could do it by quarter. You could do it by mid-year. As a matter of fact, do one that kind of takes you through all of those. And then little by little, you'll see that one connects to the other. Yes, small increments, right? Smaller increments by quarters. Yes. Not everybody can plan for the entire year because there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts. And if you're in that type of industry or in that type of arena where there's a lot of moving parts, then yes, you want to bite size. But even bite size needs to be planned, because anything will throw you off to the races, and then you'll be chasing your tail and wondering how you got where you got, where you got. Believe me, it has happened to me. I don't like it one bit, and I don't intend, right? That word intentionality, I don't intend that for that to happen again. And so how do I ensure that doesn't happen again? I make plans, and I make sure that my activity is feeding that plan. That's another thing that you have to be intentional about. Your daily activities. How do those daily activities testify for or against you in relation to the plan that you intentionally set? Because if you set a plan and your actions are counter to that plan, you're messing up, right? And you're only messing up yourself. So make a plan, be intentional about it, make it bite size, however it is that it is adequate for you. But check yourself, check your actions. Are they congruent with your intention? Let's talk about habits here, right? Let's talk about habits, because habits will set you off course if they are bad. If you don't have a good relationship with your action, or between your actions and your desires, you're never gonna get there. I mentioned awareness earlier, right? Awareness. If you are aware, this is one area where you need to be very aware whether your actions are feeding your goal. Can you look at your actions and say, Enrique, you are definitely working that piece right there of your plan. You're working it. Good deal. Or are you saying, man, you had to do a 1,000 word paper and this whole week you've been putting it off? Habits, right? Habits can steer you wrong. So let's talk a little bit about habits. This time of year is where you start, and you should do a self-assessment of your habits. What did you want at the beginning of this year that you were not able to accomplish because of your habits? Because if you take that habit that allowed you not to do something this year, guess what it's going to do for you next year? The same thing. It's going to do the same thing. So do a self-assessment now while you're still in this year and get your habits in check. Maybe you need a mentor. Maybe you need a coach. Maybe you need to talk to a coworker. Whatever it is that will get you to realize what your true habits are, the better you will be going into next year. So I encourage everybody to do a self-assessment, to do an assessment on their habits. Get someone. Hey, you know what? Who's good at making you aware of your habits? Is your closest partner, your wife, your husband, your children. Your children will tell you you would be farther off if you ain't sit on that sofa playing video games all day, right? Ouch. But it happens. Hey, believe me, I like to take some time off sometime and say, you know what, I'm going to play me some Wii right now, and I can't hit the golf course, but I sure going to hit that Wii paddle right down the course. I love to take some time for me. But if that time was designated for something else and I'm mismanaging time, that's a no-no. So and I think that's Brian. Brian said preach it. It depends on what you want out of life. Do you want it bad enough? Because if you don't, then don't lie to yourself, and be okay with your life being as far as you want, as it can go. But if you're the type of person that is a professional and wants better for themselves, for your family, and not just better, but wants to maximize their time here on earth and be the best they can be, you'll do a self-analysis. And the reason why I encourage self-analysis is because it gives you a little leeway. Now, if you can't do it, by all means, get someone to do it for you, right? That means that somebody's going to sit there and talk to you about this, that, and the other. Usually comes by way of a coach, and they can analyze and get you where you need to be so that you understand that maybe your habits are the problem, right? But let's say habits are all in check. Everything's good there. You have a good relationship with the areas, right? With the areas in your life that you need to perform at that'll get you to your goals. Now, Dr. Michelle said that whenever I review milestones, either alone or with an accountability partner, it's essential to be honest with what has or hasn't been done. Absolutely. You have to be honest. If you want to go anywhere, that honesty may hurt. It's okay. You'll survive, and you'll be, unless you pass on, you'll survive, and you'll wake up tomorrow and you'll be okay. But honesty is one of the things that if you leave out of that self-assessment, you would have wasted your time. So I love that, you bring up accountability partner, which I'll add to the list of planning. But if you don't have a person that can tell you to your face what you really are, then all you have is a community of yes. You don't want that. As a leader, you do not want that. You don't want somebody either that is so, let me just say, disrespectful that they will go beyond what's necessary. But you do want somebody to tell you the truth, to tell you the truth. And if you can't deal with truth, then maybe you shouldn't be leading, because truth is required in leadership. So yes, get somebody, whether you're doing it by yourself or you're getting someone to do it with you. Truth is an element that must be present. If it isn't, you're wasting your time. So let's say you do identify that you have habits, ways about you that are working against your plan. That accountability partner can help devise a plan for you to do some things in favor of your success. If you can't change it right away, if it's something, it's like, man, I keep getting to work late, right? I had an individual that kept getting to work late. I was not his supervisor. I was a representative in the company. I was actually the executive advisor to the CEO. So, but I played a role in the development of the people, and so they asked me to talk to them. This individual, consistently late, and I was kind of intervening, and I would walk him through his decision process in the morning. What's so how do you sleep? Do you go to sleep early? Do you go to sleep late? When and we started identifying areas where he was setting himself up for failure, right? And so I started asking and for things. And I remember our very last conversation was that he had managed to work his way down from half hour late to 5 minutes late. And, I celebrated all the time. He made an adjustment and it worked and it was getting closer. But we got to that 5 minute and I asked him for one more thing. And he said, absolutely not. And that was the end of the conversation. He was dead set on that he will give no more to the effort to getting there on time, and 5 minutes was good enough for him. Let's just say they weren't there long, right? But the point is, you can get somebody to help you work out those things, and you can actually make progress. And hopefully that person is at a company that allows him for 5 minutes, or he's going to face the same situation, right? Here, you cannot grow and accomplish your goals in any way without having some sort of accountability. That's key, right? And everyone's accountable. I am the CEO of my own company, but guess what? I'm accountable to my wife. I'm accountable to my children. I'm accountable to my clients. I'm accountable to the people that are helping me along in this journey. There's going to be accountability regardless of whether you think you're in that position or not. You're accountable. Brutal honesty is the kick in the pants that some people need. And it is. It is. And, if you're asking someone to be honest with you, don't limit them, right? Now, I won't encourage you to also suffer abuse. Don't suffer abuse, right? But understand that typically when you bring on an accountability partner, you understand that they're working for your best interest, right? And anything they're telling you is for your best interest. So give them the freedom to be able to speak what they see, but also be open to receiving that, because we will always be accountable to somebody. right? And if you removed every person from the face of the earth, let's just say everybody went away and I was left, I still believe I'm accountable to God. That's my belief. Other people may believe different, and that's fine. You're still accountable to something or someone. Um, so you're working those things out, and that honesty is going to help you tailor what that plan should look like. Is it finances? Is it timeliness? Is it whatever you may be, right? Is it communication? And there's so many facets that built into what a leader is and their performance of a day-to-day activity, that you could put whatever name on that, but you can address those things. And wouldn't it be great that if you had some type of deficiency in some area, that you can work on it while everything is, after Thanksgiving, everything starts calming down. People are not as busy. At least that's what I've seen. And they're looking forward to the new year. This is the time where you take to truly invest in yourself. And guess what? Come 23, you would have refined yourself. You would have set some real actionable goals. You would have rightly scheduled your year or quarter, however you want to do it. Plan these things and have set in motion things that will support your plan for you to be successful. But you're not the only one that actually succeeds from that. Your coworkers get some benefit from it. Your company gets some benefit from it. Something that you may have thought that was just personal for you actually ends up being something that gives a gift to someone else outside of you. And that's the beauty of planning accordingly and planning right. And on top of that, planning to the point where you become the best version of you, and then you start infusing your surroundings with all that goodness. All right? It's a win-win situation here, folks. So you have a person, you're getting truth, you're putting all these things in motion, it looks bright, everything's in place, and here comes the curveball, right? One thing that folks do not plan for is the curveball. How can you? You don't know what it is, right? You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know. Have a contingency plan, right? Some people, and I've heard this, I don't have a plan A. I mean, I don't have a plan B, C, or D because I'm putting everything into plan A. That is good in a sense. If you were the only one on earth and you were the only one that could derail your plan, I say, okay, good. But there are 8 billion people on earth, and anyone in any place can derail your plan in an instant because we are all tied to each other in one way or another. COVID, point in case, or case in point, right? Something that happened, who knows where it happened, but it happened. The entire world got shut down. Nobody expected that. The financial state of at least the here in America, but I hear around the world, is not good, right? It's going to affect you one way or another, whether it is that you have to close down your business, whether it is that you have to let go of some people. We've seen the major layoffs that have come through big companies. that's going to trickle down to smaller companies. If Apple doesn't make enough phones, well, the people who provide those parts, they're not going to be working, right? So everybody is in one shape or form connected, and it all, and any rock that is thrown in a pond, so you got the ocean there on my background. Any rock that goes in that water does a ripple, right? And it creates a ripple. You're gonna get touched in one way or another. Make a plan for that. What if this? What if I don't get the finances that I thought I was gonna get? What if I can't hire the right people in time? What if we get extra contracts? What if? Make a what if plan for your 23. And it may never happen. But guess what? If it does, you'll be ready. So, good chat about planning. Hopefully, this little bit, and we can talk about planning for a very long time because there's always this plan and that plan. But if there's anything I want you to get away from or come away from this conversation, is that number one, you have to be aware that you need a plan. All right. If you're not there, I'm telling you right now, you need one. Number two, you have to be truthful with whatever it is that self-assessment reveals, whether you do it by yourself or you do it with someone else. But you need a self-assessment of what you did and didn't do concerning your plan for last year or this year that did not come, to pass. So be honest with yourself. Get an accountability partner, right? Get an accountability partner, because that person will ensure that what you said you would be intentional about, that you are. And I love those, right? And give them freedom. Give them freedom to be brutally honest. And at times that might not rub you the right way, but you have to be open to the fact that you cannot see everything and you cannot know everything. And the sooner as a leader you can get there, the better of a leader you'll be, right? So I hope this 40 or so minute chat on planning was worth your time. Thank you for joining me today, Dr. Michelle. Thank you. Brian, thank you for joining me on YouTube. For all of you that are seeing this as a replay, don't be shy. If you have some planning questions, if you're having a hard time doing that yourself, put it in the comments. I'll be sure to reply to you once this gets posted. But don't go without answers. Don't let another day pass. I already mentioned December 2nd. Before you know it, is the 15th, and then you're singing, all this Christmas music, right? So if you don't have a plan and you don't know how to even start one, get in the comments, let me know, DM me, so that we can talk and and get some things in order, because time waits for no one. It's certainly not going to wait for you. So I hope that this session is good. Let's plan, folks. Let's do it. And all the points that we made throughout tonight, make sure that you implement them. And I am positive that you will do better next year than you did this year if you do so. So thank you, everybody. Mahalo. Aloha Friday to everybody, wherever you may be. I'm just spreading a little aloha around the world, and it's my joy to do so. Next week, we will be with Noah Moss, and we'll be talking about finances, getting that in place. and you should be planning for that as well. But getting your finances in place to put you in a better posture in 23. I hope you'll join me. If you've seen this as a replay, let me know. But be in the chat. Aloha, everybody, and I hope that all of you have a great weekend. We'll see each other on next Friday.